Now would you look at that?
Unbelievable.
Must be quite a change of scenery.
Yes, you could say that. All my life, oh well. It will take some getting used to, that's for certain. Weapons, trinkets, all sorts of things I found.
I will. Thank you.
Tandai Tahar. Come to trade?
Thing for the wary traveler. A fair offer.
Now would you look at that?
I must say, I am impressed.
With Mullendeer? Yes. It's quite a sight.
It seems unlikely, yes, but yet it happened. Isgrim, the dwarf, told me about.
Tell me, Tahar, what do you make of that?
Maybe.
But how? I know there is more.
I believe we stand on the verge of a change.
How?
A medium? No, quite the opposite. I am an observer. As you have undoubtedly noticed, I lack the...
And to me, it is evident that the war your father started has done more than...
You're talking...
Among other things, yes. But as I said, there is more to it. All this, your journey, but let us...
All right.
Why?
Once...
Understood. Yes, what is it?
Back...
Why do you want to...
No particular reason.
I see. Well, simply put, the guild had 2 leaders until half a year ago, me and Lena.
You're talking about the...
Yes, I am. As Lena said, they are crucifying us, burning us alive, putting masks on our heads that destroy our minds.
Sounds like she...
I suppose you could call... However, her stance conflicted with everything the Creators Guild stands for. Figuratively speaking, a fisher will never be a good military commander, just like...
So what...
I do not know. They left to fight the purity and save Maid.
Could you...
She was the guild's treasure master. Other than that, I do not know what to tell you. She was quite young when she joined. She was different than the others. She was better than the others. And I always saw a spark of genius in her eyes. And yes, I do know that most people would call that attraction.
Well,
you are an empathetic man, but these events lie in the past.
you seem...
As I said, I had hoped for a different outcome.
Could you... Of course.
I will tell you.
Where did...
I do not. That is correct.
Imperia?
I know, but I hardly have any memories. My parents fled from the...
So you were...
Yes, much like many Nortandians are now. We lived in the Utran lands.
What's it?
Well, it was my impression that Utran people are... All in all, however, I cannot complain. Both my...
And when?
At a very early age. I believe... All I know is that my mother's employer, who was a mage himself, immediately took me in. I went to Everlight when I was 10, and did not leave there ever since.
Interesting.
I am not surprised.
I've noticed that you use both white and black magic in combat.
Normally, yes. The essence of white and of black magic deeply oppose each other. Trying to combine both of them, I, however, never had that problem. The first time I found out was at the Arcane University in Greyfell, where I studied. I was very young at that time, and I knew my professor would be upset if he found out. so I channeled my energy. It immediately went feral, and I put it back to sleep. But rather than feeling the terrible headache that had been described to us as I secretly continued these experiments during my studies, and found out...
Do you have an explanation?
No, I do not. Maybe it has to do with the way...
Well, goodbye. Understood. Got it. Will do. Whatever's necessary. Understood. Got it. You read my mind. What's next? Will do. What do we need? Yes?
Huh?
I'm still wondering what made you leave Kalea and travel the world.
You're not letting this one go, or... To make it short, I grew up in the slums of Kalea. A shithole if ever there was one. Just imagine my father had left right after I was born. My mother is what you call a day laborer. Though the days when whatever job there was, she took it. Even if it was cleaning the shit out of Kalaean canals. She worked hard, but it just wasn't enough. Long story short, after a while my mother simply couldn't cover the expenses anymore. So my mother looked for someone to help her out, and found one. A man named Creo. He was a loan shark who had it all. A stupid...
I think I can...
Sure you can. It's not the most unique of stories, is it? To cut to the chase, 1 year later we were in... I was just... too weak. Over and over this fucking bastard came. Had my mother tell me to go... I remember one day I looked in the mirror and realized how much I hated the boy I saw. I hated his... So the next time he came, I fought...
How did that go?
What do you think? He beat me up. It was the same next time and the time after that. On my 14th name day, I left home and joined up with the Kalaean sand prowlers. My mother begged me not to go, but I just couldn't. The way I figured it was that if I earned enough money to pay mother's debts...
I think I can...
A group of mercenaries. They took me in and trained me. And even though they were skeptical at first, they quickly realized that my determination made up for what my body was.
What about your plan to pay your mother?
Well, I thought so at first, but we'll get there.
What was it like to...
Well, if you were hoping for stories of sex, adventure, and intrigue, I have to disappoint you. Most of it was nasty stuff, but then again, the Chilean guard was no better than that. It was a case of pick...
Was that Sandprowler...
What? No, she was a mediocre mage at best. After 1 year, I was already stronger than her, and I started my own...
Huh.
Of course, on my 18th name day. I had wanted to return her... Sorry.
What happened?
My mother. She was gone. Her room had been cleared out, and the neighbors told me she passed away unexpectedly just 3 weeks before I arrived.
I'm sorry.
Why? It was a natural death. She was old. In other words, it was bound to. I went into the room and looked for our stash. A small casket under the floorboards. I found it, opened it, and saw all the money I'd...
So...
She never used it to pay Creo as I instructed her. I have no idea why. She was that kind of person, you know? No matter how hard fate punched her in the face. And look what she got in return.
Did you ever visit her?
I did, but it was a mass grave. Dozens of corpses. I threw up when I saw it. It never came...
What about Creo?
Well, as you can imagine, I went to look for him.
Where?
I don't know. I asked everywhere and everyone who could know. After a while...
Why?
Because people like Creo are just a reality we have to deal with. I could have killed him, but what good would it have done? The world doesn't give a fuck about your ideals, Tahar. About doing the right thing. That's just the shit we tell her. I wasn't strong enough when I should have been. And that's why I couldn't help her. That will never happen again.
I guess you're right.
I am. To wrap up the story, I enrolled at the university from the money my mother saved for me. Turned out the Sandprowler mage was wrong. There were some boy-loving professors, but they knew their shit. I quit university, and I've been traveling ever since. Taking jobs as a mercenary here and there, but above all, improve...
Huh.
I don't know.
Huh. Interesting story.
Sure. Hope you're happy. Huh?
Never mind. I'll be going.
Yes, Corporal? How can I...
Goodbye. Understood. What's next?
Beautiful, aren't they? These glyphs. Since we reignited the Nexus, they seem to have become a little brighter.
The entire knowledge of the Shaper.
Well, we sort of do, don't we? Anyway, still one stone to go. Something you want to talk about, Tahar?
To this day, the Shaper's magical and technological prowess remains unrivaled. One thing...
Exciting, isn't it? All that energy.
True.
That's one word for it. Tahar, I need to say this. I'm glad the Harbinger sent you. You've made it, but anyway, we still need that second stone. Is there something you wish to discuss?
Okay, I'm ready. Sure this plate and stone is...
This is amazing!
But it seems like it worked. We've restored... How are you feeling?
Overwhelmed.
What now, though? Is it strong enough to...
It should be. And you, Tahar, should... That way you might be able... What do you say? Are you ready?
Shouldn't...
How? Putting on a shaper?
Fair point.
Good. Then step into the forge.
Tahar!
We...
Is it over?
Yes, I think Guardians, that was... I don't know what just...
Describe.
There were...
How do you feel now?
I think so. Yes. I feel...
Then it worked! Niehauf's hammer, we did it! You joined yourself...
So...
You're not a dreamweaver.
I don't think you are, but you're connected to this place now. And therefore...
Does that mean we can finally look...
You tell me. Think of the song, Tahar. Close your eyes. What do you...
A failure. That's what you are.
No.
What is it?
My father.
Your father? So you think he's behind?
I also heard the voice of a woman.
A woman? Now this is, interesting.
I don't, but yes.
This is helpful, but it still does not tell us where to start searching.
Yes. There were
The eye. Your father...
Tiara's breath.
The eye?
Yes. My father had a laboratory there, in the old abandoned manor of House Waite. Nobody was allowed to follow him there, not even Rohan or I.
Well, sounds like we have a lead.
So it's...
Tahar...
What?
Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Rohan?
There's nothing to tell.
Well, I'll send a messenger to inform Lacane as soon as possible. He'll want to be there. Let's get prepared.
Tahar, how do you feel? You sound...
I guess I was.
And not exactly good ones, I suppose. Is there anything else you wish to talk about? If not, I bet... Tahar, may I help you with something?
Goodbye. Got it. do.